Alright guys, so check it out. I didn't really do a good job explaining what was going on in the last part of this video. So take a few minutes here to explain to you what I have going on. So I've been kind of working a lot, staying pretty busy, and was looking for just some way to have some cheap fun and a little bit of spare time that I have. So some friends of mine and my brother and myself, we decided to buy some cheap lawnmowers or get free ones if we could find them, and fix them up, make them go a little bit faster, and just have a little bit of fun in the yard with them. So the John Deere that I'm building right now, I actually found it on Let Go for $150. Went to take a look at it, hoping to make a deal on it. It was in running condition when I went and looked at it, and he also had two other mowers there, and I made a deal, $300 for the whole lot, so all three of them, and all three ran and drove. Two of them I just needed to pop the belts back on, and they were fine. So this wheel horse here, this one, it's a B110 or B112 or something, I don't remember. Taped over the thing with its new name, B52. But so this one here, you'll see a video on this one. I did a little bit too. Mostly stock, actually just about all stock. Did a little pulley swap on it, and it's a fun little machine. Then the John Deere that we're building now this might be a little farther along than what you're going to see in this part. And then I'll go out here and show you what else we have. Now right here we have a Montgomery Ward. It's like a 70s. Yeah, buddy.
Can you get my ball?
Did you lose it down in there? It's not in there, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, the little one?
Yeah.
Okay.
The bear right here.
Yeah, alright. I'm making a video, buddy. See, he's got his army men set up on it. But my brother picked up two of these. They're identical, except for one's a 10 horse, one's 11 horse. Pick them up for $50 each. Running, we don't know if they drive yet. We haven't really messed with them too much yet, but they're pretty cool looking mowers. And I'll show you the rest here. So here's what else I got. I got that John Deere 68. I pulled the seat off of it. That thing actually runs, drives, and mows. So that was the other one I got out of my lot. Here's his other Montgomery Ward. It's probably those two are probably the coolest looking ones. And then this Husqvarna thing here, it was free. It was sitting on the side of the road. I think the motor is locked up. I haven't really messed with it either. It had really good wheels and tires, so that was worth it. And believe it or not, they all came with mower decks. So yeah, so that's what we're doing. So this John Deere 100 that I'm building now, I think it's going to be my main mower for racing, if you want racing. But yeah, so it's going to be a pretty fun build. It's been fun so far. So let's get some more stuff done on it here. Well, the fenders, I think I might have already explained this, but I was able to reuse the front mounting bolt for these, and it's going to be a little difficult to use the old top mounting bolts. There is a little bit of a gap between the top of the frame and the underneath side of the seat mount and fender assembly. So what I'm actually going to do, I drilled these holes out here on each side, and I'm going to make a bracket here to secure that in place, and I think that's going to work out just fine, because it is bottomed out up in here, so I don't have to worry about any flex going down. I guess I might have to worry about it going up. Okay, buddy. Go ahead. Okay. So I thought about maybe putting them back here. Because that would stop it from coming up. Yeah, I might actually do that. Yeah, I'm gonna go with this. If I have any problems, I'll build another bracket to hold it up and down. So I just need to drill these out and round the edges, and those will be good to go. All right, got my center line here, my center line here, and measured 1 3/4 out on each side on that center line and put my punch mark in. That gives me 3.5 between centers there. So what I'll do is I'll just stack these up together, put them in the drill press, and drill those out. I'm gonna use a 13 30-seconds bit here. That'll give me a little bit of clearance for a 3/8 bolt. One side done, now we'll flip it around, do the other side, and just make sure the bolt holes are lined up when you tighten the vise down. Alright, now we'll use the belt sander the 1x30 belt sander to round these edges. Alright, and use my little stone with my hair grinder to deburr the holes. And there we go. I think that'll serve its purpose. You know, help strengthen the back of this up a little bit too. So I think that'll do just fine. And if I absolutely have to, I think I'll just drill a hole through here all the way. Put a nut and bolt in there, keep it from going up and down. But I think that's going to work for now. All right, so on this part of the build, we are going to address the front axle. The front axle that came on the unit, I don't know where it is right now offhand, but it's definitely not going to work for what I want to do. It's probably going to bend, maybe break. Not going to get the ride height I want. So after doing some research and watching some other videos and some other people's builds and looking at what's available for purchase, I decided to build my own out of all this stuff you see here and here. So I have actually 24 feet of this because that's what it comes in, and it was cheap enough. So all together, if I have everything I need all together, I should only have maybe about $70 in this front axle, and these things sell for like $300. So let's see what we can come up with. Alright guys, so this is the jig I came up with here for making these spindles. So basically I have a mock kingpin here with this piece of tube that I'm going to weld the spindle to, and I have this mount for the spindle. Well, maybe it's still a little warm. Hold this for me.
Got it?
Yep. Alright, so I have the spindle that comes through at a 10-degree angle from this, so that I can make these pretty quickly. And then the axle is cut at 10 degrees here, so it offsets that 10 degrees. For steering purposes, don't ask me the scientific reason behind it. It's just how it is. So we'll get some welds on this, and then end up with one of these. Alright, y'all, so got my two spindles made up here. I don't know if they're going to work. We're going to find out. So basically I have a bunch of like black pipe, plumbing pipe. So basically I have a bunch of black plumbing pipe. Well, that's a tongue twister when you've had a drink. It's got pretty much a perfect 5/8 ID on it. So I cut up some of that, welded some 5/8 drill rod to it in my jig at 10 degrees, 2-inch pieces that will ride on the kingpin, and then a 1-inch piece slid down to act as a shoulder. I don't know that I'll need, but it'll at least reinforce the connection here. And then, so here's my axle, got a 10-degree cut here. This plate is going to ride on there, and these 5/8 heim joints are going to come out of here with the kingpin going down through it, and then going down through this bushing on the spindle. So I want this front end fully adjustable, which means the heim joints with jam nuts will act as a camber adjustment. The tie rods will act as toe, and then the caster is going to be the heim joints moving at an arc on this plate. So what a lot of guys will do is they'll put these in the mill on a rotary table or whatever you want to call it. I used to be a machinist, but I'm pretty sure it's called a rotary table. But anyway, indexing vise, maybe that's it. You see the arc there. So it's the problem with working in a shop that's not equipped like a machine shop like I used to have. But I don't have a compass, so I couldn't make these arcs. And then, so what I did was I laid out the center lines both ways. I put my punch mark in. So this is a 5-inch plate. And I went 3/4 in from each side, which gave me 3.5 between the two holes where the heim joints will go. So then I set my calipers to 1 3/4, which basically came down to each hole or each punch mark. I locked the caliper in, and then I used it as a scribe or a scribing compass and made my arc. So since I don't want to take these in and have them milled, I want to do this without a mill. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drill a bunch of pilot holes around this. Then drill 5/8 holes as often as I can through here. Then I'm going to use a die grinder with a burr file and clean it up. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm not racing for some national championship where I have to have X amount of degree of caster on my setup. I just want to be able to adjust it if it's not turning right. And I think this is going to get me just fine. So let's see if I can get some kind of an arc here that I can, you know, then put my heim joint through and move along that arc if I need to. Got my punch marks in there. I think what I'm going to do is stack two together since I need two, and go ahead and drill through both at the same time. See how it works out. Well, that friggin' sucked. So I tried a couple different methods here. These two I tried to plasma cut out, and as you can see, they look like crap, and they're probably not going to work. But I'm tired of messing with this part of it, so whatever. This one here isn't terrible, so I just drilled pilot holes in each of the punch marks I had, and then just went the next side, you know, went up a few sizes, and then ultimately came to 5/8. But I messed up on the order on the 5/8, so I started on one side, came over as many as I had to make the hole, and then ended up short on this side and not centered, so I ground it out as best I can. This one here turned out the best. So what I did was I just drilled a pilot hole in the far left, far right, and center, and then drilled those out to 5/8, and it left material right in here. I just ground that out, but I had a nice outline to work with, so that one there turned out the best. All right, I'm gonna get these put on. I don't care.